Month 3. It was a roller coaster. My weight got below 250, well, technically got below 215, but stayed below 220, and that made running a lot easier. Like a lot easier. I wasn't worried about like anything hurting. I could just get out there and run and go as fast as I wanted to go, pretty much. I wasn't worried about running out of steam, anything like that. Kind of almost fun. Not like suffering. It wasn't like the torture that it's been the first month or two. Yeah, I almost enjoy it. I don't, but I almost do. I didn't even glance at my hair before doing this. I also did a Murph on Memorial Day. I do a Murph on Veterans Day and Memorial Day every year. This is the first Murph that I've done in the last 2 years where I didn't use a resistance band while doing the pull-ups, like to help. And I'm certainly not kipping. I mean, I'm doing it for real. And I did it my fastest time. So I did my first Murph with no resistance band, and also it was my fastest time. I did it in just over 71 minutes. So an hour and 11 minutes and 1 second. Kind of a surprise. I haven't been training for the Murph. The resistance workouts I've been doing have been pull-ups and push-ups and curls and delt raises, but didn't train for a Murph at all. The downside is I was gassed for about a week after that, and it did affect my training for the triathlon. So I can work in Murph-style workouts, but I don't know how often I should be doing a full Murph between now and September. Since the Murph, which was a couple weeks ago, my weight kind of stalled. I wasn't doing as much Zone 2 training as I should have. In fact, my 7-day trailing total got down to 0. So I hadn't done any Zone 2 in a week at one point. And my weight stalled. It's stuck. It is currently stuck. My average is currently stuck at 218.1. I know what I have to do to shift it, but I just got to start doing it. And I'm going to have to dial in my diet because I don't want to stall now. It's very easy to become impatient at this point and simultaneously complacent. So I have to watch out for that. That's going to be tricky. That was a little bit discouraging to see my weight start to get stuck again. I'm stuck 17 pounds below where I was before, but still stuck, which is not a good feeling. So I know what I got to do. I just gotta do it. I went out with some friends. I went to a physics lecture by Professor Brian Cox. I went to a poetry slam. A couple other events. My friends are pretty cultured.
Hit him near the ropes, everybody knows it.
But the biggest win this month was the bike. So I had alluded to this before. My first bike ride was legitimately scary. I live on a pretty busy road, and I thought I could just kind of get out there and make it happen. I used to ride my bike around here when I was a kid. The tires are tiny, they're skinny. I felt like I was about to fall over at any second. There were cars whipping by. I felt like I was gonna fall every 2 seconds, and I really couldn't concentrate on like training. I could barely concentrate on riding the bike. I was trying to concentrate on not dying. And then my friend and I decided to go for a bike ride like out in the hills, like out at a state park where it's paved, and there's way less cars, and the cars are expecting to see cyclists because there's people out there biking all the time. So they go by you really slow. You can see them coming from a mile away. They can see you. And you're out in kind of in nature. You're out in sort of like the trees, and it kind of distracts you a bit. And, you know, the first one out there was still a little dodgy. By the third or fourth one, though, something just kind of clicked on the bike. it didn't feel like survival anymore. My tires didn't feel tiny. They felt fast. I could feel when to shift gear and when to just look around. I felt confident and competitive. I felt like a kid. I felt like a kid just riding his bike. I'm starting to understand how people get into it. At first I was thinking to myself, this is miserable. This is obviously one of those things that people just pretend to like, you know, like one of those things that people get into it and they go, oh shit, I've bought a $1,000 bike and all of my friends told me not to do this. And now I've got to pretend to like this basically forever because I've dressed like a sperm and everyone in my neighborhood has seen me. And if I do a 180 on this, I'm never going to live it down. But no, that's not right. It's really fun. And there is something to it. I also got going pretty fast. My top speed is somewhere around 35, 36 miles an hour on a bicycle. That focuses the mind. And it's scary, and then as soon as you feel more and more control of the bike, it's much less scary. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. The Zone 2 training has started to mesh into my life in a really almost seamless way. About a week or two ago, I was sitting on my couch and I was thinking to myself, what am I going to do for training today? Generally, I look at the data sheet and I say, oh, well, I haven't run a fast 5K in 4 or 5 days, so I could do one of those. Zone 2 training I can do basically every day, so that's kind of a gap filler. If I haven't done a resistance workout in 3 or 4 days, it's about time to hit one of those. If I haven't done a brick in almost a week, a brick is where you, in my case now, ride the bike and then run right afterwards to kind of mimic that triathlon experience. I haven't done one of those in about a week. It's probably time. So at this point, I don't really set up a schedule. I sort of just look at the data sheet and see what makes sense for the next workout. And I was racking my brain, sitting on my couch, racking my brain. And it occurred to me, I had done 90 minutes on the bike that morning and forgotten about it. I had gotten up early, had done a 90-minute Zone 2 workout, and by lunch, I had basically forgotten because it felt so much like part of my routine. That's gold. That's the groove you want to be in, where it's so much a part of your day that it's like brushing your teeth, where you're like, I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. It's not a huge deal. It's just part of your routine. And that you can leverage. That's the zone where you can start adding stuff to your training program, because it all feels like just part of your day. So I'm over-explaining this now, but so given the progress on the bike, the progress with my weight, I'm trying to ignore this plateau, the progress with my weight, the progress on the bike, the progress on the runs, because being able to run without pain is a big deal. Confidence level is at 80%. 78% is at 78% of crossing the finish line in under 90 minutes. 3 months from now, it's the halfway point. It's the halfway point. I am not halfway there. But I'm hoping that I was moving such big boulders at the beginning that I'm over that now and I can start making faster progress, because it all compounds. You know, as your running gets less painful, you can do it more often. As you do it more often, your weight can go down quite a bit. As your weight goes down, you get faster on the bike. As you get faster on the bike, you're riding more often, your VO2 max gets better, your capacity to do cardio gets better. So you can do longer Zone 2 sessions. Longer Zone 2 sessions means your weight comes down. Your weight coming down means that it hurts less to run. You can run faster, you can run longer distances, you can run more often. These things compound. It's really easy to get stuck on one. and say, I can't do that. But once you start one of them going, it's more like a snowball going down a hill than it is pushing a boulder up a hill. You know, it does, those effects do compound, and it does get easier over time. But yeah, that's where we are. So, quick summary. Running is way easier, way better. Bike, magic. It was absolutely awesome. Can't wait to get back out there. The Murph, I'd love to do one once a month, but it really does disrupt everything else I'm trying to do, so I might have to hold off at least until later in the process when I'm a bit more confident. Weight is stuck. I have a plan for that. I'm going to be making some adjustments moving into the second half of my training to try to shift the weight a little bit better. And confidence level is at, I think I said 78%. 78.5% confidence level of crossing the finish line in an hour and a half, 3 months from now. So, big month, month 3. I'll keep you posted.